This is how you know it's working. This is Daniel from Divine Orbit, and you're watching the 5-Minute Astrology for the week of January 7th, 2019. In this video, I show you how to apply astrological principles to the cycles of our lives. I'll explain how ancient wisdom would have interpreted the qualities of planets as they make their way through the signs of the zodiac and form aspects with each other in the skies. On Monday, we get Venus moving from the sign of Scorpio into the sign of Sagittarius. This is a great transit for Venus because Venus is not interpreted to work very well in Scorpio, which is a sign ruled by Mars. And it does much better in the sign of Sagittarius. And so this is already a time to celebrate, but the ancients would have celebrated this as a transition to a much more positive sign ruled by Jupiter. Until February 3rd, for the next 4 weeks, Venus is going to be in this sign and is going to help us celebrate milestones and the continued success that we will experience. On Tuesday, we see an aspect between the planets Mars and Mercury, who have both just recently moved into new signs of the zodiac, and this would have been interpreted as completely being in a different energetic pattern. While Mars is at home in its sign of Aries, Mercury is in Capricorn, which is a much slower, steadier sign. So Mars is really going to impact us in terms of getting us motivated, energized, raise our drives to accomplish things. And Mercury, normally a fast-moving planet, is going to remind us that we still need to slow down, listen, absorb information, and understand what we're seeing before we make judgments and before we get too far ahead of ourselves. This week is not as busy as last week astrologically. So, for example, there's not even a lunation or a major part of the sun and moon cycle. We just had the Capricorn solar eclipse, and we're getting ready for a lunar eclipse next week. So this is kind of a lull in the skies. So we're going to move on to Friday. On Friday, the sun and Pluto align. And while we obviously can't see Pluto even when the sun is not covering it up, this is still a very important time for the two planets. They're both in the sign of Capricorn, which is earthy and about systems and larger structures. And there are definitely things that the sun is illuminating that Pluto's been working on. Pluto is a planet that helps us become more resilient. And when we experience things that are difficult, oftentimes we don't recognize our own resilience and our own strength in transforming our community and our individual experience. The sun is here to highlight that change. And so go with that energy, be proud of what you've been accomplishing, be proud of what you're able to do, and move forward into this next cycle of Sun and Pluto. We have another alignment on Sunday where Mercury catches up to the planet Saturn in Capricorn. These are still not visible in the sky because they're too close to the sun, but if we could see them, they'd be in exact alignment. This is kind of an exciting thing because they have a very regular cycle. The last time they were aligned was January 13th of 2018. The next time they'll align is January 13th, 2020. So that's kind of a cool coincidence. But this is a really great time to appeal to a higher authority or leadership, especially if you're noticing something that you think needs to change or needs to be restructured or repaired. This is a great time to appeal to someone that you may have thought wouldn't be receptive, but this is a brand new cycle. This is a new opportunity to really be heard and to try to allocate resources in a way that makes more sense to a lot of other people. Definitely, hands down, the biggest thing astrologically happening this week happens on Sunday, and this is the first square aspect or 90-degree aspect between the planets Jupiter and Neptune. Jupiter and Neptune have a long cycle of just over 12 years because it takes Jupiter 12 years to get around the sun and around the Earth. And from our perspective, they won't align in the sky until 2022. So they are at a 90-degree angle, and it's an exact aspect, and that'll happen 3 times in 2019. This is the first. So when we see things happening over the course of this week, and especially near Sunday, those are the things that are going to be major highlights throughout the year. The theme of this week at a glance is definitely engaging all cylinders. I wanted to name it, This Is How You Know It's Working, but that was too long of a title, so this really encaptures, I think, a lot of the things that I've talked about for this video. Again, Venus is going into Sagittarius for the next 4 weeks, so this momentum pushing us forward will help us to celebrate and focus on that positivity that we are experiencing and that growth. And while we do get a little bit of tension on Tuesday, it's kind of a positive tension, and there is plenty to resolve throughout the end of the week that is going to be positive as well. Continue to do the work that you are called to do to make our world and our society a better place for everyone. Check out my website, divine-orbit.com, for more information about how to get in touch with me to further explore these things that are in your astrological chart. You can sign up for my mailing list where you'll get weekly emails about your astrological cycles. And if you follow us on YouTube by subscribing, you'll definitely catch all our videos. And we're on Facebook, Instagram, and now Twitter, where you'll see daily posts about what's going on in the skies. Thank you so much for watching this 5-minute astrology video, and I will catch you on the next cycle.